Good evening. Fresh details are emerging of the extent of renovations carried out at the residence of the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, 6 Flagstaff Road here in New Delhi. Mr. Kejriwal's residence, it now turns out, was refurbished at a whopping cost of 44.78 crore rupees, and questions are being asked by the opposition in the state, also at a national level, on how a political leader or a political party that professes austerity and an association with the Aam Aadmi could do something so lavish. So what exactly are we talking about? Well, it seems that Mr. Kejriwal and obviously the government over here spent 45 crores approximately on renovation of his house. In that, interior decoration and curtains alone cost 11 crore rupees. Marble flooring cost 6 crore rupees. Electrical fittings and appliances 2.5 crore rupees. The firefighting system cost 2.8 crore rupees. Wardrobe accessories 1.4 crore rupees. Kitchen appliances 1 crore rupees. And the consultancy for this alone was 1 crore rupees. So, on what basis could any chief minister or any system justify expenses at this level? Joining us now, Abhishek Dutt of the Congress, Piyush Joshi of the Aam Aadmi Party. Will be joined by representatives of the BJP as well as the senior journalist Neerja Chaudhary in a little while from now. But first, let's listen in to what the BJP has had to say about all of this.
जैसा कि आपने देखा कि ये सेंसर वाले जो दरवाजे हैं ये बड़े संस्थानों में, बड़ी पब्लिक प्लेसेस में, एयरपोर्ट्स में यूज किए जाते हैं, इवन कोविड से पहले भी, इसलिए ताकि लोगों को टच करने की आवश्यकता न पड़े। परंतु आपने देखा यहां तो बहुत बेहतरीन तरीके, इसका आप गहरा राजनीतिक अर्थ समझिए, ये किसी चीज को टच नहीं करते, फाइल को टच नहीं करते, सब रिमोट से चलाते हैं। कहीं सत्येंद्र जैन जी बोलेंगे से करवा देंगे, कहीं सिसोदिया जी से, और तो और पार्टी को भी टच नहीं करते। साहिब आलम के आने के साथ ही पार्टी को एक्शन में आ जाना चाहिए, उसमें भी रिमोट से कोई चीज खुद नहीं साइन करेंगे। और इस प्रकार की एक धारणा और मीडिया में समाचार हैं कि पंजाब की सरकार को भी रिमोट से ही कंट्रोल करते हैं।
All right, let me go straight across first to Piyush Joshi. He's a strong supporter of the Aam Aadmi Party. Piyush, on what basis does anything justify an expense of just under 45 crore rupees for the renovation of a house?
Well, it is a chief ministerial residence. PWD was looking after the renovation of the house, and the amount or the extent of construction or the amount or extent of renovation is certainly decided by the Public Works Department and nobody else. So the BJP, is basically confused in raising the questions that whether the question is related to the extravagance or whether the question is of corruption. If the question is of corruption, the files are definitely submitted to the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, and he will examine and he will audit all the expenditures, including the transactional audits.
No, but I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah.
1.64 crores among this work order, a part of that went towards his daughter's sliding wardrobe in her room, 3.88 lakhs, son's wardrobe, 7.92 lakh rupees, the horticultural works at 7.5 lakhs, extra cost of superior stone flooring, 2.71 crores, and automatic sliding doors at 41.8 lakhs. I just fail to understand on what basis this can be justified.
Well, Vishnuji, I think we are talking about the official residence of the Chief Minister of Delhi and not a personal courtier of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. So to say whether his son's room or his daughter's room is being fitted with X and Y, luxury
so
items.
Respectfully, I've been to the homes of chief ministers in many parts of this country, but to have silicate chemical dip coating of superior A grade for white Dior pearl marble stone at 21.6 lakhs, I mean, I can go on and on. It just seems rather excessive.
Well, we can always debate whether more austerity could have been exercised in building the chief ministerial residence or not. But when we are talking about the official chief minister's residence, Mr. Kejriwal very well may not be the chief minister in 2025, and I personally hope that he will win the election and he will definitely become the chief minister again. But if he does not become, then it is going to be the chief minister's residence.
But then how do you respond to those, Piyush, who say that he is not Aam Aadmi, he is KHAAS Aadmi, that a person who professes an association with the middle class, the lower middle class, who's built his politics around simplicity, has curtain fabric, not curtains, just curtain fabric with curtain track and a motor in his house costing 45.5 lakhs. 45.5 lakhs for curtain fabric.
Well, definitely the questions are being asked and the questions are rightly being asked. But I'm reminded the kind of debates that I have been participating in and which has been going on for about a week on all different media channels. I'm reminded of a quote made by one of the very tall leaders of Congress after a Churat lottery scam. That was his personal venture. That was his personal property. This property belongs to the government of Delhi.
So that's exactly the point.
People of Delhi.
But that's exactly, Piyush, the point. If this was his personal property, he could do whatever he wants. But why should a taxpayer like all of us be paying for curtain fabric worth 45 lakhs?
He has not shunted money in his personal property. That is what I'm talking about.
All right, okay, half a second. Let me go across to Shazia Ilmi. Shazia, 45 lakhs for curtain fabric, curtain track and motor. Do you believe it's justified?
Not at all. I don't.
Sorry, Shazia, let me interrupt you. Smart lighting fixtures worth 87.75 lakh rupees. Do you believe that is justified?
Yes, 6 crores worth of marble just for the flooring that was done. And of course, the example and the quote that was being given was to justify this complete morbid extravaganza was that there were roof leaks. Now, roof leaks have nothing to do with flooring, worth 6 crores. Interior consultancy, worth 2 crores. 23 curtains, worth almost 59 lakhs, close to a crore. And then all the chandeliers and all have been used as actually going up to 2 to 3 crores. So I don't know what was happening to Kejriwal. But it just shows a very sick mentality. And I think this was long time coming. And I really feel betrayed because I was one of those, I thought idealistic then, but I realized how foolish I was. That they really thought they are out to do something good for the country.
In fact, Shazia, you can tell us about that because Arvind Kejriwal began his politics as part of an anti-corruption movement. And I mean, I was there reporting at the Ramlila grounds when he associated with the masses of Delhi and when he stood for rights which were denied and he stood for the rights of the underprivileged, most certainly in an economic sense. When electricity was too expensive, he went and ensured that it got cut. When water was deemed to be too expensive, he went and cut all of that down. He has based his politics on that. And now he has okayed renovation of his official property for 45 crores. So, Shazia, from that to this, I mean, what explains
Yes,
that?
it is, Vishnu. It is such a marked contrast, and almost so, I mean, insane. That is, I can't understand it. But you see, the problem with Kejriwal is that I think he had these, or he had these trappings, but the way he thought he would get to power was to project this image of an Aam Aadmi, wear those Hawaii slippers of his, those sneakers and the muffler, wear his Shutton
and the Wagoner, Sisodia's Wagoner, which they used to float around in.
And say that we have nothing to, we want nothing from anybody. We want to serve. And I think and you know what is so sad, Vishnu, is that it was Arvind's idea, and we all took donations from fruit vendors, vegetable vendors, auto walas, and they said make it Jai movement and they should put some money in. I wish I'd known. I would not have gone to those lengths that I did. and, made, just the kind of things we did. The electricity connection, that entire thing, when Arvind got up and said, we will not pay the bills. And, I took it seriously, and I actually did not. And, I did not have electricity in my house, and you had to borrow from, you had to ask for a special request, because Arvind and Manish continued to pay the bills, but made this entire campaign. And I was so foolish, I think, most foolish of all, that I got taken in, and I actually did it. I did not pay my bills. And for 2 months, I did not have electricity supply.
So we've got images over there of that house.
In Greater KHAAS. So I can tell you how silly he makes all of us look. And the biggest, I think the most painful part is the betrayal. The betrayal of who he was and what he stood for.
Okay,
and what all of
Shazia,
us
half a second. Abhishek also waiting.
And what that transpired into.
Abhishek Dutt, I'll come to you in half a second. Shazia, hold on. What I actually want to do is I want to play out sound bites from the past of Arvind Kejriwal, where he has professed, an association with frugality, right? And then compare that with this. Let's listen in.
कुछ भी बर्दाश्त कर सकते हैं हम लोग, लेकिन किसी भी हालत में भ्रष्टाचार हम बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकते। भ्रष्टाचार हमारा मंत्री करेगा, बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। भ्रष्टाचार अगर हमारा एमएलए करेगा, बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। भ्रष्टाचार अगर हमारा ऑफिसर करेगा, बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। कल को अगर मेरा बेटा भ्रष्टाचार करेगा, उसे भी नहीं बख्शूंगा। मनीष भ्रष्टाचार करेंगे, उसे नहीं बख्शा जाएगा। और अगर मैं भ्रष्टाचार करूंगा, मनीष मुझे नहीं बख्शेंगे। भ्रष्टाचार से कोई समझौता नहीं हो सकता। हम लोग सीबीआई को भेज रहे हैं, और जैसा मैंने कहा कि किसी भी हालत में भ्रष्टाचार से किसी तरह का समझौता नहीं किया जा सकता, चाहे हमें बड़ी से बड़ी कुर्बानी देनी पड़े। और सबके ऊपर सरकार की नज़र है, हम लोगों की नज़र है, चाहे वो ऑफिसर्स हों, चाहे वो मंत्री हों, एमएलए हों, और कहीं कोई भी भ्रष्टाचार मिलता है तो सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
हम तो आम लोग हैं, हमें सत्ता से कोई लेना देना नहीं है। हम राजनीति में सत्ता हासिल करने के लिए नहीं आए, हम राजनीति में मुख्यमंत्री बनने के लिए नहीं आए, हम राजनीति में कोई विधायक बनने के लिए नहीं आए। हम आम आदमी हैं जी, हम त्रस्त आदमी हैं, महंगाई और भ्रष्टाचार से दुखी लोग हैं, हमारे मुद्दे हैं। अपने कार्यकर्ताओं से, अपने विधायकों से एक प्रार्थना करना चाहूंगा, हाथ जोड़ के विनती करना चाहूंगा कि कभी ऐसा ना हो कि हमारे मन में घमंड आ जाए। कभी हमारे मन में कभी घमंड नहीं आना चाहिए।
हमारे मन में घमंड नहीं आना चाहिए। Abhishek Dutt, from that leader to a leader now who lives or has okayed, 45 crores. Do you believe that it's a huge downfall of his personal politics?
Vishnu, what I'm more concerned today is about the morality factor. Like Mr. Piyush Joshi, sympathizer of Aam Aadmi Party, is saying it's the Chief Minister's house, he can invest that much of money. The bigger question is, why would Arvind Kejriwal completely change in the last 10 years? I have this oath, 2013, of Arvind Kejriwal ji. This is an affidavit which was given by Mr. Kejriwal to all the voters. I just want to read first two lines, if you permit me,
Please.
Vishnu. मैं लाल बत्ती की गाड़ी नहीं लूंगा, मैं अपने लिए कोई भी सुरक्षा नहीं लूंगा, और मैं कोई भी बड़ा बंगला नहीं लूंगा। मैं आम आदमी की तरह रहूंगा या रहूंगी। This is where I'm coming from.
I have signed it.
I'm very happy, Vishnu. I can officially say it on your channel. Last 8 years, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal was after me to join his party. I used to tell friends like Shazia sitting on channel, he's saying it because he's not in power. The day he comes to power and he does it, that is the day I'll say Arvind Kejriwal is man of his words. To be in the opposition or to be a common man and give claims is very easy. But to walk the talk is most difficult. And this is where crores of people who trusted the ideology of Aam Aadmi, who stood with him during India against corruption, people from my own family and friends, they used to tell me, and I can tell you, 2012, I was an elected councillor in Delhi. And I visited Jantar Mantar. I met Shazia. We had tea over there. I went there in my individual capacity because that whole vibration of new style of politics inspired a lot of youngsters.
It was so inspirational.
But Vishnu, today, where do you see his name? All the people, like Shazia said, he used to take donations from street vendors. He used to take donations from Safai Sainik. Today, he's taking donations from big liquor mafia? What has he done?
All right, well, that's a separate set of allegations. In this particular case, Abhishek, it's all listed.
Vishnu,
these PWD expenses are all listed.
Vishnu, I'll tell you the biggest scam in this house. More than 10 trees have been illegally cut in this house, and the officer concerned has been transferred.
Okay, Abhishek, half a second.
Let me complete. Vishnu, let me complete. 2 years back, when the plans were being sanctioned, trees were supposed to be cut in his house. Get the file out. Where are those trees? Who gave permission for those 12 trees to be cut? Where have they been transplanted? You talk about air pollution, you blame farmers in Punjab and Haryana, and you're cutting trees inside your own palace. It's very heartening. It is very sad to see a person can change so fast. Who are these
and
people?
Just so that people know, these are the documents which we can actually show you. These are, these have been acquired, and these have been signed by various. This is actually and it's spelled out. The cost is spelled out. The amount, the quantity, it's all spelled out over here. These are publicly available documents.
Vishnu,
right?
Vishnu,
can
I say one thing, please?
No, half a second. Right. There's signatures over here that I'm going through over here. It's all been approved. These are approved plans. Assistant engineer P, executive engineer. I mean, they've all signed off on this, and it's all been cleared for use. And that's what strikes me as being bizarre. These aren't people or officials who would just sign off on something by themselves. They don't have the power to clear a rupee. And over here, it's 45 crores. Abhishek, quickly before I go back to Piyush.
Vishnu, he's done something very interesting with these tenders. There's a certain amount that the officers have the value to pass. Right. Otherwise, everything goes into public domain of the assembly.
Yes.
Every estimate is less than 10 crore rupees.
Exactly.
And what they do is they make it 9 crore 90 lakh rupees. And there's a term called revised tender, revised estimate, where it doesn't have to go to the house again. He's fooling his own MLAs. And I'm telling you, in this whole big house where Kejriwal ji stays, only 2 people get easy entry. All defectors who want to join Aam Aadmi party, and all big businessmen who want to entertain Aam Aadmi party.
Okay, Abhishek,
Even
hold on.
MLAs.
Let me go back.
No,
Abhishek, that's enough. Hold on. Let me go to my other panelists. Piyush Joshi, there's a rather disingenuous argument which has been raised by some supporters of the Aam Aadmi party, comparing the expense made in this house with the expense made in the Prime Minister's house. Now, the fact of the matter is, and you can read this on Google, articles have been written on it, the Prime Minister's house has a hardened bunker. There are biological, chemical filters over there. It's probably been protected against a nuclear blast and radiation. There are escape routes likely from that, so that the Prime Minister of our country, who heads the nuclear command chain of India, is secure, so you cannot compare the house of the Prime Minister and the house of Kejriwal.
Well, I certainly do not want to go that way. And in whichever debates I have participated, I have never done that. What my point is that whether there is an issue of corruption in this, or there is no issue of corruption, whether the construction was done legally or whether this construction was done illegally. Because if this construction was done in a legal manner, then that's fine. If this construction was done with proper tendering, whichever laws were broken.
No, but you see, Piyush, respectfully, and I will let you finish. It's not a question of illegality. Keep that aside for a moment. It's a question of propriety. That's what we are looking at.
Well, yes. If we are talking about, the moral equation, then certainly more austerity could have been exercised, but it is for the PWD to decide. I am sure that Mr. Kejriwal did not go to a marble shop and chose his marbles for himself. I am sure Mr. Kejriwal did not go to a toilet for himself.
He did.
Piyush, this is my money, your money, Shazia's money, and Abhishek's money as taxpayers. There has to be accountability at some level, no?
Well, then how do we...
And Piyush, I just want to say one more thing.
Shazia ji.
Piyush,
Shazia ji,
I would just like to say
I
one
will
more
not
thing.
interrupt.
You know,
I did
I
not
can-
interrupt.
Shazia, half a
I-
second. Let
I-
Piyush make his point. I need to let
how
him
to
speak
fix
more.
the accountability? There is a process in place, and that process is submission of the books to the comptroller and auditor general. He will examine, or that the whole institute will examine and decide whether there were any irregularities done in construction of this house or not. So
Okay.
it is very simple.
Vishnuji,
For me, the greater issue is that
Abhishek, you've got 30 seconds. I need to wrap this up.
Vishnuji, I will correct
let
my
me
friend
come in,
Piyush.
please, Vishnu. I haven't
One
had a
second,
chance
one
to
second.
speak at all.
You know, this is the marble supplier to Kejriwal's house. His wife and him have personally chosen it. Samples were being pasted of jalis in his room, in his outside area, and they selected it. You know, the problem with the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson today is he doesn't know what to say. It's about morality. Arvind Kejriwal, Aam Aadmi.
Okay, hold on, Shazia. Last word.
I want to
need
say
wrap
one thing,
this up.
Vishnu.
Yeah. 30 seconds.
It is so sad. You know, I can gloat right now and I can say, see, this is what these guys are all about. But I feel very sad and I feel so dismayed because Arvind Kejriwal has crossed all limits. They're his spokespersons now and sympathizers talk about the legality or illegality when we all know that how laws were circumvented to prevent from it becoming a 10 crore tender at which point they would have to make it open to legal scrutiny. So they played around with laws and did that. But yes, you said, I mean, Aam Aadmi Party, the whole idea of Aam Aadmi Party and Anna Hazare movement was
All right.
about
So that
propriety,
idea you believe has
about
been
morality,
completely
about ethics.
blemished.